What do you mean by an operating system? What are its basic functions? An operating system or OS is a software that acts as an interface between computer hardware components and the user. Every computer system must have at least one operating system to run other programs. Applications like browser, MS Office, Notepad, games, etc. need some environment to run and perform its tasks. The operating system also helps you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak the computer's language. It is not possible for the user to use any computer or mobile device without having an operating system. Important function of an operating system. Number one is security. It uses password protection to protect users' data and similar other techniques. It also prevents unauthorized access to programs and user data. Second one is control over system performance. Monitors overall system health to help improve performance. The third one is job accounting. Operating system keeps track of time and resources used by various tasks and users. This information can be used to track resource usage for the particular user or group of users. Four, Fourth is the error detecting aids. The operating system constantly monitors the system to detect errors and avoid the malfunctioning of a computer system. Fifth, coordinating between other software and users. Operating system also coordinate and assign interpreters, compilers, reassemblers, and other software to various users of the computer system. 6. Memory management. The operating system manages the primary memory or main memory. 7. Processor management. It means that in multi-programming environment, the OS decide the order in which process have access to the processor and how much processing time each process has. 8. Device management. An OS management manages device communication via their respective drivers. It performs the following activities for device management. Keep track of all devices connected to the system. 9. File management. A file system is organized into directories for efficient or easy navigation and usage. Why is the operating system important? First is it moderates the relationship between the computer and its peripherals. Second is it helps in the management of files, copying, deleting, moving of files one storage location to the other. Third, it encourages the memory of its efficient usage and thus adding the speed of the computer. Fourth, it manages the activities of processor in terms of job execution according to the priority of arrivals of job. Fifth, it informs the user of any hardware or software error. Six, it makes communication between the computer and the user of the operator possible. What is the main purpose of operating system? What are the different types of operating system? The purpose of operating system is to manage the computer resources such as central processing unit, memory, disk drives, and printers, establish a user interface, and execute and provide services for application software. Types of operating system or OS. Following are popular types of operating system, such as batch operating system, multitasking time sharing operating system, multiprocessing operating system, real-time operating system, distributed operating system, network operating system, and mobile operating system. Batch operating system, some computer processes are very lengthy and time-consuming. To speed the same process, a job with a similar types are batched together and run as a group. The user of batch operating system never directly interacts with the computer. In this type of operating system, every user prepares his job as an offline device like a punch card and submit to the computer operator. Multitasking or time-sharing operating system. Time-sharing operating system enables people located at different terminals or shell to use a single computer system at the same time. The processor time or CPU, which is shared among multiple users, is termed as a time-sharing. Real-time operating system. A real-time operating system interval to the process and respond to inputs in very small. Example, military software system, space software system are the real-time operating system. Distributed operating system. Distributed system use many processors located in different machines to provide very fast and computation of users. Network operating system. Network operating system runs on a server. It provides the capability to serve to manage data, user, group, security, application, and other networking functions. Mobile operating system. A mobile operating system are those operating systems which is especially that are designed to power smartphone, tablet, and wearables devices. What are the benefits of multiprocessor system? There are multiple advantages to the multiprocessor system. Some of these are more reliable system. In a multiprocessor system, even if one processor fails, the system will not halt. This ability to continue working despite hardware failure is known as grateful degradation. For example, if there are 5 processors in a multiprocessor system and one of them fails, then also 4 processors are still working. So the system only becomes slower and does not ground to a halt. Enchanted throughput of if multiple processors are working in tandem, then the throughput of the system increases, number of processes getting executed per unit of time increase. If there are n processors, then the throughput increase by an amount just under n. More economic system. Multiprocessor systems are cheaper than single processor system in the long run because they share the data, storage, peripheral devices, power supplies, or etc. If there are multiple processes that share data, it is better to schedule them on multiprocessor system with shared data than have different computer systems with multiple copies of the data. GUI. A graphical user interface is a way to communicate what you want to a computer application or computer operating system. Using graphical symbol rather than typing the instruction in. GUIs let you work with picture-like items. Sample is icon and arrows, for example, to tell the computer what you want from it. And rather than a keyboard which can leave you guessing what you type next, you get to scoot around a blocky thing on your desk called mouse, which makes the arrows and icon scoot around the screen. What are different kinds of kernels? A kernel is classified into 2 main types. Monolithic kernel, microkernel. One more type of kernel exists which is the combination of these 2 types of kernels and is known as hybrid kernel. Let us study each of them in brief. Number 1 is monolithic kernel. In this type of kernel, architecture, all the functions like processor management, memory management, interrupt handling, etc. are performed in kernel space. The monolithic kernel falls consisted of only one module, and this module was responsible for all the functions that were performed by the kernel. This increased the performance of the operating system as all the functions were present inside the same module, but this also led to the serious drawbacks like large sizes of the kernel, very low reliability because even if single function of the kernel failed, this led to the failure of the entire kernel program. The poor maintenance due to the same reason. So, to increase the performance of the system, a modular approach was made in the monolithic kernel in which function was present in different module inside the kernel space. So, for fixing any bugs or in case of failure, only that particular module was unloaded and loaded after fixing. Second one is microkernel. The second is microkernels. In this type of kernel architecture, the basic user services like device driver management, protocol stack management, file system management, and graphic control are present in the user space. And the user function like memory management. Process management is present inside the kernel space. So, whenever the system has the requirement of services present in the kernel space, the operating system switches to the kernel mode, and for the user level service, it switches to the user mode. This type of kernel architecture reduces the size of the kernel, but the speed of executing processes and providing other services is much slower than the monolithic kernels. Last one is the hybrid kernel. For the best performance of the system, we inquire both high speed and small size of kernel, so that our system may have the maximum efficiency. So, to meet this, a new type of kernel was designed which was somewhat a combination of the monolithic kernel and the microkernel. This type of kernel is known as the hybrid kernel. Such type of architecture is being used in almost all systems which are being manufactured nowadays.